So our list of restaurants, this part looks the same. And if I click on the profile one now, it takes me to the profile scene. I don't have my user information in here yet. But if I hold down the left mouse, I can drag and scroll through this great big terms condition. So it's working. And if I want to go back to the list, I can just click on list and it brings up that activity. So from that perspective, we got things working. But our user name and email address did not come through. So we need to add that. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to say private val auth db equals Firebase auth. So what this does is it's going to get us the instance to our Firebase authentication. And then the Firebase authentication can be used, if we have an authenticated user, we can use that to get the email address and their name. So if we've arrived here, let me just do this here. So we can say if authDB current user is null, let's just log out. So the idea here is if somehow we managed to get to this screen, even though we had to go through, theoretically, the first screen should always be that login page, but if we somehow managed to get to this activity without an authenticated user, we want to log them out. So I'm going to create a little method called logout at the bottom of my profile page here. So I'll just scroll down. See, can I get this all on the same screen at the same time? Maybe. And the logout method is pretty simple. It's going to be private function logout. And here we'll say authDB sign out and finish, which kills this activity. And then we'll force them to go to the login page. So intent there we go. Okay, so if we get an unauthorized user for some reason, we log out of the system altogether and take them back to the sign-in page. I'll leave it up there for a second if you're still typing. And now, the other things we want to do is, because we now know that they are a validated user, we can update their username and profile. So I'm going to go up here. So if it was not null, then what I can do is I'll say authDB current user .let, and all that does, this is like Kotlin's does a lot to prevent null pointer exceptions. So what this is, when you put the question mark in here, that's signifying that this could be a null value. Now we know logically it should never be because we just checked that it's not null. But it's by doing .let, anything that you use inside these brackets is proven to be not null. So it gets rid of all the needs for explicitly stating that something's not null. So now we can do binding, username text view dot text equals, and here I can say user dot, actually sorry, I have it as it dot display name. So you can see it's using a lambda expression here, the Firebase user, and by default it's calling that user it. So in Kotlin, whenever a lambda expression is automatically handled, the argument name is always it. If you prefer to call it user or something like that because that is more impactful for you, you can just change it. You just say user and put in the lambda expression, and you can do user. Okay, so now we have our user. So if we rerun this again, click on my profile. Now I see that it's pulled my name and email address from the from my Firebase auth. And my scrolling works. I click on list, and it comes back to here. So what I want you to do now is I want you to hook up the plus such that when the user hits plus, it's going to take them to this spot here. That's our main activity. Okay, so I want you to change the menu bar in our grid recycler view so that the plus button takes us here. Actually, I think we already did that. So what I want you to do is add the menu bar to the top of this. So add a menu bar to our main activity. I'm going to pause the recording, and I'll give you a few minutes to do this.